Hello, 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 everybody. I am your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades, and this is the Neoncaster Twitch channel. Good evening. Happy New Year for the people who I haven't said that to yet already. Joining me in human form, well, I'm in human form. Hey, Bees raided exactly on the right time. Good evening, Bees. Hello, hello, hello. You have genuinely just arrived for start of stream. Perfect. How you doing, Bees? I was just about to go and introduce the guest who's joining me for this evening. Friend of the show, you know him well. Please, everybody, give a warm welcome and a round of applause to Tom. Hi, Tom.
Evening. How's everything? Good to be on again.
Yeah, how are you all doing? What were you streaming today, Bees? Thank you for pouring out the love. Hope you're having a good one. Arcade raid. So you're on that retro shit at the moment, huh? Is that what's going down? Yeah. Hopefully that works. It does. Oh, sure. You're grinding out TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Nice. Bees, if you didn't know, Tom is actually a speedrunner. He's been speedrunning the recent TMNT video game. Under my suggestion, he has also recently applied to an upcoming Games Done Quick marathon, not the one currently ongoing. And thank you for hanging out with us instead of them, because I can understand it being a pretty tough competition. But there's they're running unapologetically black and fast later this year, so specifically highlighting black speedrunners. So I've asked Bees to apply. I found out about it genuinely on their final day of application. It's like, Bees, you need to get in there. I was about to randomly stream someone, and then out of nowhere the Twitch god stepped in and let me know that I'm live. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, we're doing tabletop RPG stuff today. We have both on air and off air been hard at work with a wide variety of different tabletop bits and pieces. For those who tuned in summer last year, God, I think it was like in August when I did Phantom Arts Fest, that marathon of TTRPGs. Do you remember if that was August or not?
I think so. Yeah, it was a very busy weekend. Absolutely regret I couldn't get into every single game, but
I technically was present for all 8 of them. Some of them ran very late, but it was a marathon of various tabletop RPGs, including one that Tom and I wrote together, inspired by the video game Library of Ruin, called Stories of the Singularity, which... do you want to go and give a vague rundown of the vibe of Stories of the Singularity?
yeah, it's sort of a the video game was a very sort of deck builder JRPG style, but I think just kind of fell in love with Project Moon's style of writing for that sort of horrendous dystopian city with interesting and occasionally slightly horrible characters. I was like, this mechanically would work for a really interesting RPG, and then spent hours on MTG Set Editor sorting out cards and regressing my life decisions. I think was the
Hey, nobody made you do it, but it looked shiny all for it when we went live with that as a thing.
It was very fun to run in TTS, admittedly. It was like throwing cards everywhere.
Oh, Bees is saying that he loves your artwork that you're using for your voice reactive. Way back when, one of the first, not the first tabletop stream that I did, but the first kind of like campaign streams that I did, was this Persona-inspired mystery game, and Tom's character turned into a boss at one point, and this is the boss artwork that you're seeing is currently representative of he at the moment.
Yeah, it's currently like hung up outside my bedroom door at the moment in actual drawn style. I have to shout out the artist actually, who I've got written down somewhere. I can't.
Wiccan.
Wiccan.
Yeah. Spelt a little strangely, but I'll see if I can find them on Twitter real brief. I think it's
they do some very cool.
Yeah. Beautiful pen and ink drawings. definitely recommend you to go and check their artwork out. It was oh yeah. Also, Bees, what's up, Bees? Let me know. What's good? What's good? Happy birthday week. Yes, indeed. I guess I should probably explain that shit that I have in the corner. Yeah, so I'm currently on my anti-influencer arc and heavily limiting the number of streams that I'm doing at the moment for my own mental health. However, under current circumstances, I'm like, hey, I have this week booked off, so I have a lot more free time than normal, and my regular day job isn't weighing on me, so I'll do a bit more streaming. And as a result, for those who actually want to kind of like, you know, hang out with us, support the stream and all of that, if you sub to the stream, if you subscribe to the, is that what sub is short for again? It's subscribe, right?
Yes,
not submarine,
definitely.
last I checked. If you subscribe to the stream, I will design, we'll see how many we can do on this stream, and if not, there will be future streams where I will go over and do all these character designs. I will design an NPC around either you as a person or a prompt you give me. And anybody who subs, or if you gift sub them to other people, I guess I'll look at their name if they're not directly interacting with chat. We'll find a way to make it work. But each of them will have like an NPC, which will have like a name, a background, and then some City of Mist style like power tags and a drawback tag. Like that. Thank you, Rook, for the tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Hi, hello. Rook, please do tell me. Well, this is a perfect example, and maybe we'll get our creative juices flowing with this, I think. Well, when we get into it. But Rook, how about you go tell me if there is a particular prompt or theme that you would like your NPC to be based around. Oh, you're joining? Cool. Perfect.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Excellent. Love that you're joining us with that. But in addition to those, I have some sub goals for those who are interested. Hey, Bryn. Oh, I've not seen Bryn in forever. Hello. How are you doing? I hope you're doing really well. Your art continues to absolutely bang every time I see it and things. I hope you're having a fantastic evening. Yes, I do have some sub goals. So if we get to 10 subs down the line, I will schedule a stream where I will be marathoning Slay the Spire. So that will definitely be longer than the streams I normally do. I normally stream for about 3 hours. It'll probably be a weekend stream of at least 5. I'll see if I can manage to do more than 5. I might die. We'll see. If we get to 25 subs, I will do a karaoke stream, or rather, my digital assistant and game show host Caster will do a karaoke stream most likely. I've done one karaoke stream before. I don't think I was very good, but everybody was very nice. So maybe they'll be nice again. We'll see. And oh, hi Rick. Hello. Welcome.
Hello everyone. Please ask me that question again.
Oh well, yes, I will ask you that question again in just a second. And if we don't die too handsome. Oh, so nice. Thank you. And if we get to 40 subs, I will, for the first time in my life, try to learn a speed run. Inscription is a game I like a lot and is relatively simple and straightforward. And apparently the speed run of it is not too complicated. So I might actually try to learn my very first speed run, if and only if enough people want that to get me to 40 subs. I've made it difficult for a reason. But we'll see if we get there. Any subs that you give me is incredibly nice of you. I also have a throne. There's probably, if you're watching on Twitch, there's a link down below to the throne. There's some, like, you know, you can go buy me like a wrist and elbow like presses so I don't break my limbs every time I do drawing, that kind of shit. You know how it be. Anyway, with all of that shit out of the way, we're going to go and design. Is there a command for throne? There probably should be a command for throne like that, and I don't think there is.
I feel like I've seen a command for throne.
It auto posts it on the half an hour. This is a very scattered stream already, and we've only been live for like 10 minutes. Any way you would love to support the channel is much appreciated. You don't have to, but if you want to give me a thing for my birthday, that would be really kind of you. Thank you. Parasocial relationships. But with that out of the way, we're gonna go move because what we're going to be doing today, what we're focusing on today, is doing some Dungeon 23 design bits and pieces. Now, are both of you, and I'll ask both of you if you're familiar with the fad that is Dungeon 23, and then the chat can also chime in if they know. Also, hi Navi, you came in and said hello and I didn't respond to you. That is not very cash money of me, apologies. Hello, good evening, I hope you're doing well. But Rick and Tom, are either of you familiar with Dungeon 23 while I put some jams on?
I think your tweet was the first time I sort of got exposed to it. I had managed to evade it before then, but no, it certainly looks a quite cool concept from what I've seen.
Yeah. Rick, have you come across it yet?
It's been explained to me. I've seen a lot of promo tweets about it, even though I don't use Twitter.
Well, that's just how Twitter fucking work, don't it? You don't even use Twitter and you still get dragged into its nonsense. But yes. Dungeon 23. I can't remember with all of these things, there's a specific indie tabletop RPG developer who brought up the idea and it kind of came into its own. And the idea was that they wanted to design a mega dungeon that is in the kind of traditional fantasy scape, the idea of it being a dungeon with many different areas, sectors, and floors that is sprawling enough to do an entire campaign inside. But to design that much content takes a lot of time, and a way to go and work on those really large writing projects is to go and do it piecemeal. If anybody has attempted, for example, say NaNoWriMo to write a 50,000 word novel in a month by breaking it down into daily targets, it's that kind of idea.
I didn't think it was the right behind Mothership.
That tracks.
You haven't looked it up. Yeah,
that tracks. Thank you for doing the research where I refused to because I'm lazy.
That's useful.
But yeah, the idea being is that if you write and design a dungeon room every day, by the end of the entire year, you have a mega dungeon, and people have given lots of different types of advice for how to build those dungeons out and how to segment those ideas and building it into kind of like thinking of overarching themes and sectors within a larger dungeon and all that. And that's really cool. People like journaling. People like having very pretty sketchbooks with pretty things inside. And if you're anything like me, you get really enamored with the idea of starting a pretty sketchbook with pretty things inside. And then you have crippling anxiety over the fact that anything you produce is not going to be pretty and will in fact ruin the nice notebook that you bought.
Plug your notebook, Nathan. Plug the notebook.
Yeah. We have a notebook here. This was initially supposed to be a bullet journal because I figured I would be using, those kind of clean living life hacks to go and sort my life out. And then I just didn't use it. But it has a very nice dot grid paper. So I'm like, oh, actually, that's really useful for like character doodles and note taking. So I have sort of started doing a notebook with a little doodle of Caster and all that, using a new fountain pen and immediately spilling ink everywhere. Bryn says, I feel that my parents gave me a nice as fuck sketchbook for a birthday for creature design and you haven't used it yet and it's been a year. Yeah. A friend told me that the best way to start a new sketchbook is just to turn to a page and doodle something stupid in it, because then it's ruined and can't be perfect anymore. So all that you can do is now actually draw in it. So I did that in it and was like, cool, that was a very goofy thing to do. Now it is in a position where it can be used for a variety of different things.
I mean, speaking of doing goofy things, I'm putting a picture of Papyrus from Undertale on a uni presentation with
perfect
for no reason.
Oh, I mean, you gotta make it fun for you, right? Especially if it's otherwise a very long drawn out presentation. But yeah, sorry, I got distracted. So I was like, okay, I enjoy doing cyberpunk stuff. I enjoy doing like urban fantasy dreamscape stuff, which anybody who's seen my work is so familiar with that idea from me. So I'm like, what kind of premise can I do that would encompass a dungeon within? And so I decided to go and revise the government organization Ryder from Arcana Core, the Persona campaign that we mentioned a couple minutes ago, about saying that they have made an entire research arcology for the premise of layering stories into real life and making the internet as an explorable space using the physical manifestation of dreams. Proper tech, soft sci-fi wank, you know, to give me an excuse to do basically anything. So we made a pretty world map with the big building, with the tech dome, with the kind of like representation of dream space, the representation of cyberspace, and of course there has to be a haunted train network in it too. It's like mandatory, that has to be there. And then I was like, oh, I don't actually, clearly what this is telling me is that I don't want to do a mega dungeon. What I want to do is have a super not actually real world, like not actually do a world building document, but have a premise that I could put all of my general genre ideas into, and then make smaller individual dungeons that can then be used for other things. Love a haunted train. Love a tube network that you can explore. If you've played Persona 5, if you played the tabletop RPG Spire or the tabletop RPG Heart, if you have come across the game Shadow of Mog, which I introduced to Tom today, and he's now obsessed with, all of them factor in that idea. Very, very good. And because the game that Tom and I built together is like a supernatural mystery kind of deal and fits into this space, I figured we could go and design some NPCs and some dungeon rooms, and then I can incorporate them into the book. I'm designing multiple NPCs and dungeons and all that, meaning that I'm ahead of the looming deadline of have I done one thing a day, because if I do a whole bunch in one day, it means I get cheat days later. We do even actually have in this, flipping to a different book in here, I have some pages for NPCs with sketches. All of these sketches are actually tabletop minis that I own. I figured that would be a good way of immediately iterating on character design, since I kit bash a lot of miniatures. I figured that would be a good way of prompting me to go and draw those in. So yes, the people who oh, thank you very much, Bryn. I'm not a very good artist. I'm getting better. Every time I draw a new thing, I get slightly better at it. You know how it be. But yeah, any NPCs that we make today, including the ones that we'll design if you sub to the channel up until Tuesday, 17th of January, will be immortalized in the book. Speaking of, since we've had our first sub of the day, thank you very much again, Rook. I really appreciate it. What kind of like theme and hook for the NPC are we going to be making? It will get our juices flowing for designing more stuff today in it. So you get to be our catalyst for what we start designing today.
Give me the premise of the setting again. Because
Sure.
I was not paying attention.
No problem at all. I can read it as box text, because that probably makes it easier for everyone. The Ryder Research Arcology. Undercover agents of the metaphysical, Ryder employ a wide network of agents with their eyes open to the collective unconscious. Their research arcology is built to pioneer the coalescence of shared mind space and the internet, leading to a building that exists both physically, digitally, and psychically. Ryder is not a malevolent organization, but when it comes to unlocking the story within an individual, they do what needs to be done. They regularly take on new agents, but there are frequent intruders trying to seize their own narrative. And hey, Click on the right web link or dream in just the right way, and you could find your own back door into the arcology. You may also already be living within it, who's to say?
This is so neat. Oh my god.
Oh, thank you. That's really nice of you to say. Sorry.
I do love you've got quite a nice sort of happy spin on it. And it's like, there's definitely some dark, dubious stuff running under the currents of this, but no, it's definitely happy. No,
It's
no,
both.
fine.
I like the premise of there being both. Yeah. Because I don't know. Even though I'm currently on my dark RPG era, being interested in like the Borg games and in like Heart and shit like that, where things are supposed to be miserable, I'm like, but I like people who want to try and help people and save the day. So it's pretty open for you, Rook, in terms of where you want to be in this space.
Okay, so I'm stealing a character concept I've had on this channel before.
Perfectly fine.
So what I'm thinking is a violinist. The strings are like coding strings, so like strings of like letters, and when they play, I'm guessing this is kind of like a psychic kind of metaphysical hacker kind of vibe. Like they kind of like do their kind of hacking power kind of thing by playing, and by manipulating the strings, that's how they quote unquote code.
Yeah. They manipulate the digital space around them. Okay, cool. Love that. This is good. So I guess we're kind of like, so my first question, and this is to the room, you know, this is a collaborative effort. What kind of space are you working in? Is this violinist in the physical space but a digital hacker? Do they exist within the networks entirely? Like, are they a virtual construct and this is how they hack? Are they in fact a dream construct trying to break into a different reality? Where is the body of this NPC? Where are they residing?
Ooh, I definitely think a mix between digital and dream. I don't mind where in that kind of area they exist, like chat if you all have any ideas, but make somewhere in that kind of region.
Nice. And because I have a fuck ton of different randomizers and different tables handy for prompts, let's go and get a dice tray out, which we can see on camera, making sure that there is. And we also have something that I used to collect for a while, story dice with pictograms on them that you can then roll for different things. I fucking love these and never get the chance to use them, and being able to use them for this project has already made me rub my filthy little fly hands together. Bryn says, how about a program corrupted by dream magic, gaining sentience via personalities being... I see. So this is an AI that has awoken through dreams. I see. Interesting.
Yes, you are speaking my language.
I'm gonna go pull some three dice as well. We're gonna go roll some of these, and we have an apple, we have a Joker playing card and a pointing arrow. Let me go fiddle with the contrast a little bit because it's a little bright. Let me see if I can wiggle that. There we go. That works a little bit better. If we want to use those as prompts in as well, if those speak to anybody. But let's go factor in the thing that Bryn suggested. So we've got a digital dream, an AI that was awoken when the CU, the collective unconsciousness, interacted with it in some way.
The Apple thing, I don't know why it sprung to mind immediately, is maybe if it was just the link between that and doctors, and it could be a medical AI initially that's gained sentience, and how to rope the music into it. But
so that means that the dream influence was the magical influence, that was the musical influence there. So it was a medical AI. Is it assisting in kind of like brain mapping and neuroscience, and that's how it kind of got, that's the layer into the kind of a nice. Okay. What about this the psychic element? What was this fateful entity? What did it encounter? I guess in scanning someone's dreams or scanning someone's brain, it found something strange.
Maybe an agent who worked within the dreams, who like for some reason was treated at this place but wasn't supposed to be for this very reason.
Okay, so a rider agent who works in the dreams department was being brain scanned, we'll say for now, and the AI found something strange within. Ooh, it feels like it like saw, it either heard a melody or like found what's the word for like musical notation, a score. It found a score within this brain scan, and that's kind of what unlocked this thing, some impossible music.
Hang on, I need to Google music terminology.
Oh, do we have a name? I see.
Okay, so their name is syncopation.
Oh, perfect.
Ooh,
that is definitely both a musical and mathematical term, so works excellently.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out like a play on like the rook, but I think syncopation is very good.
Sync for short, of course. Found an impossible musical score. Right. Overwhelmed. It's no, it's this. It's data processors. Okay, perfect. I love this. This is good. If any of you are familiar with City of Mist or Fate, or some of the games that I've written, like Heartbeats and Perfect Sync. Ooh, you know how people back in the day said Mozart had too many notes in his scores? Oh yeah. Interesting. An impossible musical score. There's those like piano pieces that can't be played by people because they're too physically complex.
Oh, yeah. What's the Ian M. Banks one where he's got the impossible musical instrument? Like it was the last one he wrote. What's it called? But it's completely gone.
It's all good.
Interesting fact.
Ian M. Banks' books are very good. I really want to finish reading Player of Games. My brain makes it very difficult to read books at the moment, but I really enjoyed what I read of it. Yeah. So in games that have tags as part of characters, so like City of Mist, like Fate, and so on and so forth, you have like positive and negative tags, and I like for these NPCs to give 3 positive and 1 negative tag, and the positive tags are just, a kind of summarization of a particular skill or interest or facet of this character, where if they were doing a dice roll in an actual tabletop RPG, would probably confer a boon of some kind. So, set herself a life task of playing T.C. Villiers' 26th string specific for sonata for an instrument yet to be invented. The eponymous hydrogen sonata on the instrument subsequently invented for its performance, the agnostic undecastron string or 11 string. Wow. I like sonata for an instrument yet to be invented is very good.
I like that.
In fact, I'm gonna make that one of the tags for this. I think that is definitely a tag that this character has. I don't want that to be a thing. There we go. Sonata for instrument yet to be invented. Yes. Sonata for...
Remember, if you source from multiple locations, it's just good referencing, not theft. So I buy that.
Hey, especially when it's sci-fi, people love it when sci-fi refers to other sci-fi.
Exactly.
So I definitely like that because I think it conveys the hacking powers, but also how it's kind of dream motivated. Like, you know, it's from something impossible. I dig that. Cool. What other kind of positive tag do we want to give Sync? I guess something pithy to do with its medical previous history.
Yeah, some sort of like subconscious reading or something like that. Also, I think mapping maybe. Trying to think of a term. What got a good biological term or for part of the brain and mapping might be.
I like the idea of calling that tag. You've read my mind. Yeah. In both the play on words of it being able to do brain scans and possibly it being so far ahead in terms of understanding human psychology, it's already thinking a couple steps ahead of people. Very the part 2 JoJo's Bizarre Adventure lead, who's all like, next you're going to say, and then is like already sussed out what villains are about to do. Perfect. Another positive tag. Yes, young Joseph. Yeah. Best JoJo. Solid choice.
This can't be real.
Oh shit!
CAPTN Hurricane just gifted 5
Oh my
subs.
god.
Hey, Captain. Hello. Thank you very much. Hi. It's everybody's fastest video game hedgehog, even faster than the one you know. Get birthday subbed. Yeah. Thank you very much. Hey, welcome, Hawkacux, Sam, Lemon, YGO, Navi, and Neka Riddles. Please do go and give me a prompt and we'll go and make NPCs out of y'all as well, if you would like. That's how you doing, Captain? How you doing? I hope you're well. I hope you're doing very well. You're very kind. Goodness. Anyway, where was I? Third positive tag for syncopation. We've kind of got the music stuff going. We've got the medical stuff going. Maybe a hacking tag or about the fact that it's an AI. Yes, you get a prompt. You get the prompt, Navi, since it's for you. I'm more than happy to give Captain a bonus prompt as well for your generosity. But yeah, is there an AI tag here that we might work with? Because I don't want to just have it be like it's an AI, because that's probably a tag for most of the NPCs I would be inclined to write. It is.
Do we want it maybe a personality one? Is it a happy AI? Is it a creative one? Is it quite jaded because it's been picking through the brains of people?
Well, we have another randomizer for that. If for those who are familiar with Disco Elysium, with all the various psychological skills that you have, they made a deck that includes all of those. So, hey, we can just pull from these and get an emotional mode. A navigator AI is your prompt. Hey, nice and easy. We can work with that. No problem. Thank you. Just giving them a shuffle. Just giving them a shuffle. Hey, Rook, give me a number.
4.
Thank you. Gonna take 4 off the top. 1, 2, 3.
My instinct was 69, but I figured you wouldn't have that many cards.
Yeah, no. I was like, 6, you say? Okay. Oh, we have empathy. Understanding others work with your mirror neurons. So, hey, working with empathetic is definitely, I guess there are 2 types of those kind of like brain scan AIs, right? Where they understand the human condition and go, oh my God, humans are fucking awful. And who understand the human condition and go, oh my God, you guys are such disasters. I'm so sorry. So I guess this is kind of leaning in on the kind of understands the human mind and is sad about it.
Yeah.
And plot critter. Okay, got it. We'll be with those 2 in just a second. So yeah, a pithy way of describing it. It's an empath and maybe kind of sympathetic to the human condition. Humanity's kind of reflection. Since they have now gained a form of humanity, having awoken as a proper consciousness due to interacting with the dream space, I guess they're like, well, if I'm going to try and be human and I understand the worst of what humans can be, Sync is trying to be the best of what humans can be. Whether they succeed would be a different matter. I guess that probably is a good suggestion what the drawback of the character might be. That they're trying too hard to be the best that they can be.
Yeah, giving like a flaw seems like quite a good one as well.
Three pros, 1 flaw. So yeah. Are they easily overwhelmed? Even though their job is processing a lot of like a people pleaser. Ooh. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Perpetual people pleaser. Perfect. Love that. We have a character. That was pretty easy. That went very smoothly. Nice. We have one for navigator AI. And we have one for a pilot critter. I think we'll do one of these to continue whetting our appetite. Frame like the premise of the dungeon we're going to work on today, and then go back to the other one so we can kind of like alternate between, keep our mind hopping from one concept to another, you feel me? So what one do we want to poke at first? We will get to both, so don't worry if yours is going second, don't be sad. But Tom, which one do we want to poke at first? Navigator AI or pilot critter?
You see, I might get physical violence threatened on me depending on my choice on this one.
Well, one's a hedgehog and another is incorporeal, so you're probably going to be fine.
Oh, go on. We'll go with the order they're presented and go for our navigator first.
Okay, will do. Marvelous. I will also make. I guess I will also add to the docket the other people who got subs, and I will double check their back. So we have Hawkcucks, AUX. Oh, I can spell. Granted, it's not a real word, so cut me some slack. We have Ultraviolet 2. We have Sam. We have Lemon Yu-Gi-Oh.
Did you just say Lemon Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, Lemon is I believe a VTuber primarily doing Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel. So the name is pretty accurate. Lemon flavored Yu-Gi-Oh, and we have Neko Riddles.
Okay.
Neko Riddles is an excellent prompt for an NPC name, actually.
My brain went to places I probably cannot say on stream.
Ha!
So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. It's definitely not a lime Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
If you know what that means, you're old.
I have no idea what that means. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
good.
I hate the fact my brain went there as well.
Good. You're also old. Good. If you don't know what you mean, if you don't know what we mean by lemon and lime, Rook, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it.
I know what lemon means in this context. Well, I think I do.
This can't be real.
Jesus.
I'll join in as well for birthday subs.
Hi. Thank you. Well, that already puts us at the 10 goal, so there will be a marathon of Slay the Spire coming up at some point in the near future. Thank you very much for everybody's generosity. So we have one for Serena Hirudo. Yes. We also have for Masswoon. Yeah. For Jobs, nice. And for Big Bees, you still there, Bees? And for Dex, yeah, nice. I'll just ping Deck later and then be like, hey, what do you want your NPC to be? You've earned an NPC. Okay, cool, excellent. Navigator AI. There was a message from Bryn about an initial thought. A train conductor. I mean, that's pretty cool. We do have a train network as part of this setting.
Spooky train network.
Oh yeah, the some of the train stops that it stops at are not necessarily ones in the physical realm. Is part of the idea. So yes, so we have a train conductor AI. This makes sense. Important. Also important. It has a cool little train conductor cap. Very important. You know what you like? Absolutely. Making NPCs is you got to make NPCs that you're excited about. Shall we again dip into the story dice and roll another set of 3 and see what that manifests. Another set. Wow. So we have a mouth that is zipped up, a sheep, and a grate with some spooky eyes looking out of it.
Ooh, the mouth zipped up gives a impression that maybe has a unique way of communication. OG only.
Oh, does it have, you know, like those train station like schedule boards that use magnets to kind of flip over between black and yellow, and then it riffles across the surface to spell out the words? You've seen those before. Am I describing this incredibly poorly?
Thinking like airports, you tend to.
Yeah, airports have them too.
Yeah.
I think like one of those floats behind this NPC, and it updates with the things that they want to say. There's this big text box that floats behind them. Has a train station schedule board that floats behind them. It's their method for communicating. That's cool. Yeah. Are we leaning into, because this already has very like Mega Man Battle Network energy, like already, which I am not mad at by any stretch of the imagination. Are we leaning in? Does this AI have like battle capabilities, or are they specifically a service AI only? because I think both are quite interesting. You know, giving it battle capabilities is all kind of like, well, then what circumstances did they need to go through where they needed to pick up the blade? I think Navi's character genuinely has a katana, but also, you know, if it's a non-combat NPC, they might, you know, have a specific yep, no, you have a katana. Okay, Navi wants this character to have a katana. We're in there. Has picked up the blade.
Well, maybe if it's part of Ryder's defense systems in case, it's like backup in case something goes wrong in the location.
While you were busy being flesh and blood, I was studying the blade.
It has picked up the blade. It's modified to act as intrusion countermeasure electronics for the train network systems. You know, somebody tried to hack the train network, and then this Navigator IA hacked them into pieces. Cool. Let's see. Signature move. What's the name of the signature move?
Can we fit a train pun in here?
Oh yeah. You know, is this the final stop? Is this an expressway slice?
Let me look up some Bleach Bankai.
Sure. This is the all aboard blade. I don't know. We're floating here.
Okay, game run. The 20 best Bankais ranked by strength. Okay. What can we do? Okay, taking the final stop and expanding on that. Something about like the terminus, or like where the train terminates, so something like maybe like a terminus arc or something like that. Terminus slice.
I like terminus arc as a move. Clearly has anti-air properties. Yeah. It kind of like I think it like hacks your movement properties, so it roots you in place if the attack hits.
Is this a Guilty Gear character?
Feels like it, doesn't it?
Oh my god, if there was a Guilty Gear character who had a move that like rooted you as part of a move effect, it would be immediately god tier. If you're hit by the move, it hacks your hit by the attack, rather, because otherwise I'm going to be saying move multiple times. Your ability to move. Cool. Okay. I guess this means that one of its one of its tags is going to be Terminus Arc. Oh, it's I guess it would be Rail Katana Technique : Terminus Blade.
Yeah, that's a proper
so extra. This character is doing the most. I love it. Okay. Rail Katana Technique, Terminus Blade. All right, cool.
I love how different
these two are.
NPCs are.
Perfect. This is what we want. This is exactly what we want.
I've got stamping your ticket or something like that in there as well. Something equally,
expert ticket puncher.
Ticket stamp that says juicy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
That's absolutely a joke. Please do not write that down.
Because actually, I've talked to people about this multiple times. So for those who already know, they're going to be like, "Yes, Nathan, we know." I wrote a scenario in the official Spire mission splat book. That's about exploring the haunted train network underneath the Spire, and one of the NPCs in it has like a gigantic ticket puncher, like the guy in Clock Tower with the giant scissors, and it can cut through, and the hole can punch through anything. And I was like, yes,
so
good.
Cool.
I want
That
people to see this
reminds me-
NPC and run for their lives.
That reminds me of the, like, not the character, but the setting. That reminds me of the, like, what's it called in Persona 5?
Yes,
when you go into the subway metaverse.
Yeah. The oh my gosh, Mementos. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I adore the Mementos aesthetically and its premise and what it does for that game. It's so sick. Have I turned out to be one of these I like train neurotypicals? I don't think it's the individual trains that I find interesting, but the design of the maps I've always thought has been really cool. There's a reason why you can get prints of various major city like subway networks and things like that. I don't have one. Maybe I should get a London one. Anyway, so
History of London. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, the history of the London one's quite interesting. You read up, it was like one guy who basically like did it for free for donkey's years, and came up with this lovely sort of how it should be in a sort of very sensible way that became quite iconic. But he was never like officially hired, and there was some quite bad blood between him and Transport probably Transport London at the by the end of it. There's a brilliant video on it, actually. It's really worth a look up. It was Jay Foreman did it. I highly recommend it.
Ooh, third positive trait for this. Oh, we don't have a name for this conductor either yet. So if people want to start thinking about a name that we can go give the character, that'd be good. But yeah, thinking of the third, we've got that they're a fighter. The expert ticket puncher is also kind of a fighter / train thing, so maybe this is more of the leaning on the fact that it's a digital. Maybe it's the fact that they're super organized, or that they're capable of spinning lots of plates at once, since that's what's kind of required for a subway system to work correctly.
I'm just desperately looking up railway linked company names now.
What I was going to say is I really like the idea of like in a fantasy setting using like train tracks or roads as a conduit for magic. Like being able to do long distance magic by like channeling your power through the roads or through the train tracks. There's just something about that idea that just nom in my brain.
Yeah, filing that away for later. One of the things that's definitely going to be in this setting book is like a mini tube map of some of the stations it goes to, and that feels like having the you have your central line and your northern line and your ley line as that kind of and the command line. Yes, okay, we're in there. Perfect. Anyway, that's for later. Desperately putting this just later, like.
So this is extremely unrelated. I just scrolled up in the Discord and I saw this meme from the last time I was hanging out on stream and you were painting and you used the multivitamins
as a painting handle. Yes. I think I still have that graphic. Hold on. Yeah. I decided to put it on stream. It was such a dumb 1 second meme where I was like, yeah, no, that has to be part of the stream layout for that stream. And now it goes away. Where breath? There we go. It goes away. Goodbye.
Back to the Doom dimension.
Right. So we have talking about its organizational stuff and the way and the multi-track processing.
Ooh, yes.
And I think the negative is inevitable train delays. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've been stuck in Manchester over the winter holiday season because of Avanti West Coast service being actively useless.
Yeah, valid. I went to Paris over the holidays and luckily missed the train strikes.
And I say this as Avanti West Coast, the company, not the train union. The train union need to do what they need to do, but they wouldn't be doing that if not for the people that they work for being shit. So,
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Here's to workers being actually paid for what they do.
Yes, please.
So okay, I like this, but we need a name now. I'm pretty sure there is a name generator in one of these fucking things that I have. Does Shadow of Mog have a name generator? Let's see. We have some plot hooks. Oh, or is it like a pun on a train station name? Like, can we turn like Oxford Circus into like a thing or something like that? Yeah, no real name generator in here. Okay. What about Cyborg? And failing that, there are some PDF generators that I can kick into action. We are definitely not at a loss of different generators that we can use to fill these spaces in, and it's refreshing to use them when you passively go and collect a bunch of generators over time and you're like, when do I actually get to use these? Yeah. Location features, complications, locations, job of the target, mission generator, style, obsessions, and quirks. Oh, we might use these for a future one. Yeah, no name generators in here. I mean, all of finding a way to show this to people. Well, so I can kind of.
Oh, hang on.
Cyborg's layout of its pages are very, very pretty. They are a lot. They are very visually vibrant. Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
What about something to do with the word directory, like encoding?
Okay. Ooh, okay. I mean, if an AI was to have a surname, it'd be the surname being directory or a kind of like corruption thereof would be very good. Also, I'm a fan of those kind of like robot names that are strings of letters and numbers but could be read as an English word. Always a fan of those. There is a.
I hope Twitch doesn't ban me for.
Oh, you're gonna type one in, and it's going to.
Something like that.
Just looking at like things you'd have particularly common for train names, so like Express or Flyer tends to come up as.
Express is very good. Yeah, one of the NPCs that I've named in this book is Stretchy, using the Greek symbol for key in there. Very good. Anyway, yeah, Express works quite well.
Put H in front.
Express. Yeah. Ooh. I see what you're doing here.
Yeah. I know some code terms ish.
Is there a way that we can directly work in hex code into this as a thing, a hexadecimal into here somewhere?
You've gone too deep now. You've gone past my surface level knowledge.
Because, okay, so in hexadecimal coding for like, so when you have like hex codes for colors, right? You have that string of 6. It is the numbers 0 through 9, and then the letters A through F.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you can actually spell words with those. So, for example, decode is a shade of pink. Like a very desaturated pink purple, and it's like neat. It's both a word and it's a hex code. That's fun. I wonder if we turn on big brain mode, I wonder if there is something that could be done there. But maybe that's a thing that we could return to later. I do like Express though, or working with that kind of space.
This isn't a name for this character, but I am just going to gift you the name Never Binary.
Never Binary.
Just for the future.
This doc is just a whole bunch of notes for the future. Never Binary. Got it. Thank you.
I feel like that feels like a very, like, punk kind of, like, this is what I changed my name to kind of vibe.
We are doing standard kind of, hey, this is a cyberpunk tag name thing by putting some underscores in there, and we have hex_press or just express. Absolutely. Okay, good. Nice. This is such a different character to Syncopation by far. Marvelous.
There is a particular shade of purple which is a particular shade of green which is just called Saddle with a 5. Oh, that's quite good. Hash lab with the 1 instead of an L. It's like a nice teal colour.
I see.
In fact, I might. Let's share that. The chat's,
yeah. I see. Thank you. This is
Nathan,
probably.
not to, Oh, sorry. Not to derail the conversation again. Can I get some background on why So Long Gay? Where that came from? I'm looking at the mod view and I can see the permitted terms. What was the context?
I mean, I don't know. Usually this is mostly Ruben trying to say something rude in chat and then clearing them clearing their own, like, lock. Just giving themselves permission to be rude in chat.
Is the mod privilege.
The ultimate mod privilege. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're fine. Right, okay, marvelous. We have 2 NPCs. We'll return for some of these later. What I think I want to go do is start thinking about a let's start simple. Let's do a 6-room dungeon. Let's do a 6-room dungeon. We can always add more if we want to. 6-room dungeon. What we're doing here is a point crawl, meaning that we're looking at the locations as isolated spaces within the larger dungeon. We don't need to worry about the hallways or rooms that don't have interesting things in. This is specifically the kind of like landmarks as you're going through this dungeon. So localized chain of interesting spaces. Perfect. I actually had, give me a second, because there was a bit of box text I had in the working document that kind of describes what dungeons are in Stories of the Singularity, and retrieving that is probably going to be useful. Right, here we go. I'm just going to copy and paste this verbatim into the doc so everybody can see. Oh, I should actually just make sure this is shareable with people in the call. Give me a second, they'll do that. Gimme. I'm gonna have to go and hide you. Where are you at, friend? Wow. Google Docs capture. Goodbye. Secret passage. Secret. Yeah. Like one of the dungeon rooms we design can be like a secret passage because it's a point of interest, for example. Good call as an example. Right. Hold on. Wow. So we're going to get the sharing in a way that chat can't see. And we're going to go and put this in on-air chat for you two. So you also have the ability to type directly into the document should you want to do so. That is not mandatory, just, making it easier for everybody to note down ideas if something comes to mind. Reveal that again. Cool. So the stream didn't get the URL to the thing. Right. So this is some text that isn't in the public version of Stories of the Singularity yet. This is in the kind of like a working doc that will eventually be moved over to public when this section is complete. But currently, it reads as follows. Not every mission requires fixers to dive into dangerous and remote locations, but it's rather common. Stories of the Singularity considers a location with multiple hostile events and encounters to be a dungeon. It could be city sewers, a research facility, even a labyrinth of back alleys. A dungeon is explored as a point crawl, a series of connected locations, each containing an encounter or event. This can be a linear chain of locations or branching paths, depending on the dungeon size and GM preference. As long as an encounter or event in a location has been completed once, the location is considered cleared and can be moved through it again without incident. That's not especially important for what we're doing here, so I can remove that for this. To leave a dungeon, dungeons must be in a cleared location with an unbroken path of cleared locations. That's not especially also relevant to the matter at hand. And I currently have a rough layout of the information that would be in a dungeon location in like a notebook. So if this was a sample scenario that somebody could run and we gave some dungeon locations, it would probably be formatted like this, in that it would have a location name for reference and flavor, the general description, what do the players see upon entering, what the encounter is in the room, which could theoretically be nothing, or it could theoretically not necessarily be a direct threat. This could be a safe room for people to be able to catch their breath or whatever. And optionally, it might have specific rewards, and it might have escalations. So if players stay in a room too long, does an additional complication come in? So 3 of the things in this list are mandatory, and the other 2 are kind of optional depending on the context. It is kind of what I felt at the time would be reasonable things to include. Having a glance at how Cyborg does it. Wow. Let me go and find a dungeon room in the Cyborg book. Hooah. Yeah, you can see on screen. It's a little bit blurry because I need to go and mess with the focus of that because it's close to the camera. Give me a second. Doing this with my free hand. Ooh, there we go. So in Cyborg, the dungeon rooms have a vibe, which I guess is the description of the space, but it's given a pithy name. And it kind of has a bullet points of the stuff that's in the space. And then if there are encounters, it has it in a sidebar down the side. But it kind of hits the same kind of space.
Yeah, it's quite a neat way of doing it for, especially if you want random level of randomness for rerunning things, so you can generate less work, I guess.
Yeah. So I like the way, because I think one of my big barriers, or what made me go like, oh, I couldn't write a dungeon, it seems difficult, was the idea that I need to go include a whole bunch of complicated shit and do 20 rooms of complicated shit for it to be a good dungeon, when this is actually pretty succinct and leaves a lot of it up to the GM to build an interesting idea out of a space, where there are, I think there are examples of much more kind of like structured things that are going on. So the final boss room, if there's a way that I can show this effectively, not really.
Yeah.
But it details the fact that there's like a trapped person inside and has mechanics going on. So you can include the more kind of like complicated mechanics, but it's optional, and I like that.
I do quite like the idea of designing the dungeon almost backwards.
Okay.
Given what your high point or apex or final room is first.
Yeah.
That can influence everything that runs backwards.
Let me.
Just a...
No, I think that's a really good idea, because what I think a thing I want to do first is decide together what the theme of this dungeon is definitely mission number one in it. So how would we like to go and decide on what our dungeon is? Because as we say, it doesn't need to be a literal dungeon. This is kind of like an urban fantasy, like a cyberpunk environment. So it could be a research facility or a nightclub or just a labyrinth of back alleys. It could even be in the more kind of literal Library of Ruina space, a much more metaphysical labyrinthine library. There's no way this building contains this complicated thing inside. Hey, Hawkicux, hello. Big fan of nightclub levels like the one in Sifu.
Ooh.
Oh, while you're here, Hawkicux, do you have a particular prompt that you would like your NPC to be based on while you're here? Because that means I can note it down and work on it later. But for now, yeah. Is there a particular kind of like premise that folks would like to? I mean, chat seems to be fan of nightclub. Do we have a raise on nightclub?
I like nightclub.
Yeah. I'm thinking almost what's the going on Persona, the Reza's.
Yeah. Hey, the first dungeon. Oh, an evergreen cyber garden. Ooh, that's also a really interesting idea for a prompt. It's kind of like
that could work quite well for either one of the rooms or the later room, if we have it as like working through this large club and then the top of it, some sort of some sort of rooftop garden, the VIP section.
Okay, yeah, we'll work that in. Nice. So we have a nightclub. So our general theme is that it's a nightclub with many private rooms. We can put these up here.
Ooh, as a third idea, a skyscraper where the first third is in physical space, the second third is in digital space, and the third is in dream space.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely envision the main building of Ryder's research facility to essentially operate in that kind of space.
Oh, cool. Okay, that makes sense.
I think these are kind of that would definitely be, if I was taking the Dungeon 23, we're making a mega dungeon literally kind of thing. Hold on, allow that. That's fine. Climax is a word that you're allowed to say. When you get to so the garden is the rooftop garden is actually the end of this dungeon. Okay, I dig that idea. No, that's not your fault. That is the word censor of Twitch being overly stringent. There have been times across the year I've had to wiggle the swearing sensitivity settings for certain events. If you just for those who do not know, if you do a front page event on Twitch, you have to heavily lock down your interaction settings, including your swear filter, and that usually deletes the settings you had before. So there's probably been a whole bunch of stuff that is now more stringent than what I would normally do. You're all right, Bryn. Twitch is being silly. So, okay, we have an evergreen rooftop cyber garden. That is final area.
Yeah, no, Bryn, like the word gay is censored by Twitch.
Yeah,
Like just by itself.
Very overly sensitive or unhelpfully sensitive in certain ways. Every so often I need to remind myself to go in and maybe fiddle with the settings when there's like a particular theme that's coming on too strong. Whatever. I can only put my hands up at it. I would say like, hey, Twitch, you ain't paying me shit, but it genuinely paid me like 40 quid the other day, so I guess it is paying me now. Oh well. Yeah, I mean, you know, we take what we can get. But okay, so we have the Evergreen Rooftop Cyber Garden is the final area. We had a holographic dance floor. That's a cool premise. We can definitely work with that. Definitely work with that.
Well, I feel some sort of back rooms where all the pipes and the stills and things are.
Mm-hmm. Owner's office. Okay, cool. I like these. What vibes are we going for here? Like in terms of like, because I quite like in Cyborg, it just has like a list of like words and phrases that kind of give and I think we could definitely use that as an overarching. I think it would also probably inform what threat in the final room is, you know? And we can do this a wide variety of ways. We could bust out the story dice again. We can maybe bust out these Disco Elysium emotive cards. We could even bust out a proper tarot deck if we wanted to. This is not my favorite by any stretch. It's rare, and so as a result, I got hold of it. It leans very, very heavily on like a romanticization of Native American imagery, which is true of Shadowrun in general, so I guess it's kind of sticking to its theme. But I don't know if Echo Chernik is herself, especially like First Nations, so some of the artwork I'm like, but it is very cyberpunk-led, so it fits quite well in terms of being able to use in certain spaces. So we do have this as an option as well. Fuck, we can just pull a thing from each if we wanted to. There are no rules. They are actually reasonably pretty a lot of the time, though. While I am pulling the others to go and shuffle.
That is a very vivid ginger.
Yes. The brightest. Hey, you know, if you have the ability to go and have like those LED fiber optics, but actually your hair, then hey, you know, turn it to whatever color you damn want, I guess. I'm pretty sure that's a mod you can actually get in Shadowrun 2, actually. Is in addition to living tattoos. Disco Elysium's very internal themes used for an area sounds very cool to you. Yeah, we'll pull a card from that too. Sick. So while everybody is thinking, very fun idea too, very cyberpunk for sure. While we're thinking about general other words that we might be ascribing to this nightclub, we have the Matrix, or rather the Magician card. Which I actually have a decent amount of general tarot knowledge where I can interpret what it means as a tarot card in addition to what is going on visibly on that card, because there are some cyber eels floating around in the background of that. That's very interesting to me. Shuffling up these Disco Elysium internal theme cards. Flipping over one of those, we have Shivers, which is basically about environmental intuition, being able to just kind of, in a sixth sense for your environment and what is going on around you, and being hyper aware of what is going on around you. Let's go pull a story die. we have a tree, which I guess reflects the rooftop garden. Sixth sense of the rhythm. Ooh, that's an interesting way of exploring that. Yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Okay. I'm excited for these. And then we have some of these fucking roll tables, and there's a big list of styles here of just entirely made up shit like Cadaver Core and Monster Wave. So let's go roll a D100. Do I have access to a D100? Always gotta have a dice bag within reach. It's important.
Never know where you might need them.
Okay, let's get some 2d10. I know what a d10 looks like. I'm a grown adult.
Not to plug other stuff you're in.
Mm-hmm.
However, one of my favorite bits on Skyjacks is whenever anyone's asked to roll dice and everyone's just like, hang on, I've got to get my dice out.
You say everyone. I'm ready. I have it handy.
It's always so funny.
It is very, very funny. It's like, oh yeah, this isn't just a free improv. We do actually need to play Genesis at some point whenever we play Skyjacks. And we have 60, which is Murdercore. Okay. Tag yourself. I'm Monster Wave. Perfect. I am looking through here. I'm old school cyber. There we go. So we have vibes here, and we have, before I forget, because I need to go and write this down, Murdercore. Cool, good. And we also have this the sixth sense of the rhythm, or let's say we have sense of the rhythm. And what are we gaining from? So the magician card, just generally in Tarot, is the kind of having made the preparation to do things. You've already made the plans, and you've got all the bits and pieces you need to execute the plan, and now you are in a position to start executing the plan. So, and I guess they've flipped this because, you know, it's Shadowrun, it's cyberpunk. So rather than it being about magic, it's about the Matrix. So I guess it's kind of having all the right tools, all the right codes, the right wares with a Z. I like wares with a Z. To be able to execute your plans.
Oh. So, what if at this nightclub, this is just like an extraneous detail which might, like, you might want to take and use somewhere else. As well as serving like regular alcohol, they also serve you confidence.
Ooh, they're literally selling you liquid courage. Being a term for alcohol.
Murdercore.
Well,
however,
there might be a very interesting back room, I think, is the
Because, like, when you asked, like, oh, what are we gaining from this? My mind went to, oh, what's the reward at the end of the dungeon? And then I thought about the magician. And, like, dreams and stuff.
They may serve hacks that cause cyberware to function differently. Oh, yeah. Liquid courage and cyberware cracks.
Feels like potentially the fix is going in to stop a gang or something. Or there's something dubious or dangerous about this that needs looking into, or they've got something unpleasant that they're extracting the the power from to make it.
Oh, okay. So is that what is in the cyber garden? What they are the digital fruits they are growing in the cyber garden is what is used to do the things. Okay, I think we have enough bits and pieces here, I think, now to start building some rooms. So, okay, we're just gonna go and copy this, and we're going to paste it here. And we have our location name, and we're working from the top down. Did you say? Or we're designing at least the final area, and then using that as an impetus to poke at the others. So.
Yeah.
So we have it's the rooftop garden, but do we have any raises on any pithy names we can give it?
I'm gonna think.
Is it maybe called the orchard because that's where they're growing these things?
Yeah, it was either going to be that or roping like Eden into it as a term.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, Eden, where the second E is a 3.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. Okay. We're even going to take it one step forward and calling it Poisoned Eden. The rooftop garden is called Poisoned Eden. Okay. The there is also because of course it has to be.
I want to make a joke about Apple, the real life company.
I mean, what's stopping you? we can give
the fact that I can't think of one.
We can call an NPC in this, Steve, if we really wanna. It's fine. Okay. Rooftop garden, Poisoned Eden. The general description. So what visually does a rooftop cyber garden entail?
Got heavily vaporwave in my head, but I think it's probably your fault and looking at the splash on screen.
That is fine. We can lean into some vaporwave here. So maybe crystalline plants in neon and pastel colors. Yeah. Root code. Oh, yeah. I see.
Oh, root code isn't actually a coding term. I just made that up.
I see it. Yeah, I mean, like, root is a coding term, but I can't quite. If you asked me to kind of use it in a practical and plausible sentence, I don't think I could. But
I mean, apparently it's a program and library developed by CERN. So never mind.
Okay.
Just ignore me. It's fine.
So we have crystalline plants, neon and pastel colors, where they are growing a digital plant in a physical location. Like they're using code and making a digital object, but you are able to interact with it without the use of AR.
Like that.
Okay. Do we have like harvesting machinery, or is there like a juicer that is turning these fruits into the alcohol that they're selling downstairs? Maybe.
I think you could lean into the it being a bit weird and digital, and maybe have some sort of almost like Fey manifestation, like a digitized version of, I don't know, like that's actually the boss of the room, as it were. like some sort of thing like dryad or.
Oh, I like that. The I guess the leader of the gang and the person operating it is maybe called like Oberon.
Oh, that's a good one.
Is the kind of like gang leader and is sitting here, and leader is present in the space here.
I suppose that you've got to have Oberon and Titania as the boss encounter of this.
The drones that are picking the fruit have AR projections that make them look like fairies. I guess, how does Oberon become the boss fight here? Does he well, okay, important question. What is the name of the fruit and or the alcohol that is made from the fruit?
Okay. I have... The suggestion isn't my final suggestion.
We can workshop
However, it is something I did just think of. So I was thinking about FAE, like FAE, and I was trying to think of like acronyms. And the best I can come up with right now is like feeling apple extractor. But I don't think that's good enough. However, I do like the concept of FAE as an acronym.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll see. We'll put a note here for the FAE. Let's have a in the back of our heads think about what that could stand for, because that could definitely be the name of the growing process or the extraction process. Yeah, I dig that. That's the name of the system that operates this.
Fruition, something like fruition editing device, or
but the digital fruit is called, what's a pithy, because I guess it has to sound. I like the idea of the people going into the dungeon assume that it is a drug that they are trying to find and acquire or destroy, and then it turns out to be a physical fruit that has the name that sounds like a drug.
Okay, I'm going to Google something with wet nails. Let's go.
Because if these things look like apples, is it called? It's not called Newton. I don't think that's the right one. But thinking of that kind of a. Oh gosh. The alcohol I think is maybe called Snow White.
Oh
yeah.
Why is Google like this?
The alcohol, I think, is maybe called Snow White, and they're like, "Oh, is it a person? It's an alcohol. Okay, no, it's a fruit." Yeah, and these are still, and then you still call them apples, because if the system is called, if the actual like process of this is called Snow White, and then these are Snow White's apples, that makes sense to me. Okay.
Yep.
They look like apples.
Cool. Oh, maybe the club itself is called Mirror.
Okay, we're leaning in all the way down. Okay. Yeah. Okay, sick. We're calling this Club Mirror. And that leans really well to the holographic rave room that was suggested. The holographic dance floor is like a hall of mirrors. Okay. Juicy. I like that.
Well.
Yeah, okay. We can still probably layer in the Fae theming here and have it not be a hat on a hat. That's still fine, I think. Because it's still a fairy tale. Yeah, this is fine. I'm still into this. So Oberon clearly does something to make himself a threat here. Does he just fucking bite into an apple wholesale without it being processed? And that's like super dangerous. This now suggests that one of the rooms has to be one of the processing facilities, I guess. Yeah, it's super dangerous. Okay, cool.
I've been rereading the Rick Riordan books, and I'm just kind of imagining like Oberon as kind of like a Dionysus kind of figure, kind of like reclining, surrounded by like digital apples. And I think like the kind of taking a bite is very fun.
Like heavy industries going on around him. I dig that. Because, yeah, that's a really cool visual of, like, you know, you see all this machinery and all these apples being grown and picked and moved elsewhere. And just while this whirring is going on, we just see this dude just man-spreading in a big throne at the back, just chilling, even though like heavy industry whirring sounds are going on around him. Yeah, no, that's a cool visual. I like that.
I just got the very cursed image of like someone wearing grey sweatpants with like a reflective strip like you'd wear like with a bike vest, just kind of going down the seam. And I don't think that's anything. However, it
Street
is now
fashion.
in my brain.
Super street. There's somebody in this nightclub is definitely wearing reflective strips on their gear, overdosing on Snow White. The picking, the kind of like a harvesting drones. Can also probably directly attack you. Yeah, those make sense as encounters. I guess the reward would be, you know, being able to pick one of these apples for yourself. Is that a good idea? Does this location need an escalation if things go on too long? Do people come up from downstairs and start aggressing?
I feel like no, but
Okay.
I also do feel like there should be rules if a player decides to do the same thing, because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah. I think that would definitely be in like the scenario notes, right? Of the kind of like, what if they eat the apple? It's like, well, they die. You just saw what happened to that previous guy. Don't do it. Not even once.
I think the escalation is player nonsense.
Yeah, no, this doesn't need an escalation, but some of the definitely the bar where they're selling liquid courage definitely feels like that could have. Captain Hurricane can eat the apple because he's built different. Absolutely. I love that, you know, when you see in like in the fucking Metal Gear Solid where somebody has like the big serum, they jab the big serum into themselves and Hulk out, and then you're like, I could take the big serum though. I'm fine.
Like Captain Hurricane eats an apple and becomes Captain Typhoon.
Just that the Hurricane Katrina Vogue music kicks in. As okay, cool. We have our we have our end location. We don't necessarily need to build these locations in order. That's not necessary. You know, that's a thing that we can kind of go as feels appropriate. But what area would we like to go and poke at next? With this established, do we want to go to the holographic dance floor? Do we want to maybe see what the processing plant of the Snow White apples looks like?
Let's go for the dance floor. The dance floor sounds like a good one to hit.
Yeah, the chat is also calling for holographic dance floor. Oh, again, Hawker Cuts, just to remind, you get an NPC since you are currently subbed to the channel. You can either be just based on your name, but if you have a prompt that you would like to be tied to your NPC generation, let me know and I will add it to the docket. It may or may not be covered on this stream. We'll see how far we get and what we manage to do. You feel me? But okay, the holographic dance floor. Does this have a pithy name? Oh, take your time. Just letting you know that is a thing available to you, friend. Does the holographic dance floor have a name? A special name? Probably not, but we can return to it. I mean, Hall of Mirrors definitely comes to mind for the general description. Some are physically there, some are AR projected. How sourced are the people who are dancing on the holographic dance floor? You know, is this low down in the building? Like, is it generally publicly accessible? Or is it like a VIP area where it's more exclusive and maybe people are more likely to be really fucked up?
For a second, I thought you meant sourced as in like OUR.
Oh, no.
And I was like, is this a cyberpunk term? I just don't know.
No. On that source.
I feel like this dance floor would be like the first kind of thing.
Yeah, you can get in if you get past the bouncers. It's like the front, as it were.
Thinking about it, the more publicly accessible dance floor areas are probably the higher levels of like fucked up. You know, if you're in the VIP area, you've probably got more going on than just drinking heavily. So medium to high levels of sourced makes sense. Not part of the VIP area. Okay.
Also, I would like to derail the conversation again.
Sure.
May I request that we look at page 3 of this document?
Ooh, page 3 of this document currently. Yes. Or am I not there? Hi, chat.
That's page 2.
There we go. We found it. Hello. I'm glad you're using your editing privileges appropriately for the circumstances at hand.
That was the first thing I did.
Perfect. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. That's excellent usage. I'm glad chat knows that we're saying hi. what encounter, because the general description of the location doesn't need to be super detailed. The final room obviously has a lot going on in it. Hey, the Stream Elements has now decided to go and mention that I have a throne wish list. This is true. If you would like to go and give me a physical item for my birthday, or you do have a throne account going on there, you can buy me magic cards if you would like, or like a wrist protector for when I'm doing drawing. If you would like, you don't have to. Anyway, setting that aside, yeah, in terms of we don't need to have super big descriptions. Is there an encounter that happens on the holographic dance floor? The encounter could just be, it's absolutely rammed here, and being able to move around is difficult, for example.
That feels good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this is the room that is playing the murder core. That feels like that is what's playing in the VIP room. Also, moving through, if you're like packing, supernatural combat equipment just in a nightclub, in a public location, feels that is a challenge unto itself. Yeah. I don't think this area has... So go ahead.
I feel like this place would be, like, for encounter escalations, this place would be the most, like other than, like, maybe the bouncers and the entrance, like... The dance floor is probably where there's going to be like the most guards because like it's general public. So like I guess like if you're suspicious enough, you will alert the guards. Throwback to when my housemates got kicked out of the club for just sitting on the sofas the club provided.
Oh yeah, not allowed.
What happened.
How dare they? How dare they?
Well, did you happen to be kind of university age at the time? Sitting while young is definitely a crime in some nightclubs.
I mean, yes, but it was also a student night.
Yeah. Then what were they? Okay. Good job, club.
Loitering without due care and attention.
And the emotional state of the dancers is rather volatile. If you accidentally started a mosh pit, then that's its own problem. Okay, that looks good. Nice and simple. Where to next in this nightclub? Maybe the bar area where they're serving the Snow White? So... Here. Marketed as Liquid Courage. What are the visual aesthetics of the bar area? Like, what kind of vibe are we going for? Do we have, like, raised platforms with dancers? Do we have, like, big neon advertisements trying to sell Snow White? Is it trying to lean in on the literal interpretation of that, and it's like got holographic snow, falling from the ceiling? What kind of aesthetic is the bar area having?
Feel underpaid staff having to wear terrible outfits that's at least reminiscent of the fairy tales. Some possibly either holographic. There's a lot of I want to say almost horrible Disney-esque dresses and do I want to go for red floppy hats, or is that just a bit too on the nose?
For some reason, like, I don't think this is a good idea for this setting. However, for some reason, like, all I could think of were, like, the screens, like, at a fast food place when you don't want to order at the, like, cashier, so you, like, do it on the screen. But I do like the idea of, like, an all-human staff wearing terrible costumes, and everyone is just, like, too out of it to really care.
Yeah. They're all incredibly over this. If you want to go Disney, look up Storybook Dining at Artist Point. All right, to Google. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. With Snow White, in fact. Fine. Give me your fucking cookies, Walt Disney World. I see, I see.
Stuff of nightmares.
No, I don't care about the food. I want to see what the venue looks like. I want to see what the venue looks like. Oh, I've seen her, or at least one of the actors of Evil Queen kind of became a bit of a general, like, Twitter and TikTok meme for a while because they made her a really sassy bitch, which was great. She was very good at being in character, but okay. So it's got the kind of like, so this is like, it's a normal restaurant and then full ass Dopey from Snow White just marches over and harasses you while you're trying to eat steak. Cool.
Expect extremely expensive steak for what it is.
Is there maybe in the images it'll
Yesterday, my friend showed me, this is, again, unrelated, but my friend showed me a TikTok of an actor at a Scarefest in character coaching someone through tying their shoelaces.
Oh,
it was so funny.
Yes. And she's like in clown makeup with like shin pads that she can like slide on the ground along on or something. And she's like screaming at this woman in the face on how to tie her shoes.
So funny.
It is very funny, but it was also during like peak Clussy fever, so people were reacting very normally to that video.
Speaking of that, I'm just gonna send an emote to the thing that does not need to see the light of day.
Chat doesn't need to see it. Fine.
Oh no, what obscenity.
Looking at the Discord. Okay. This is just for me. Just a tweet. Peak Clussy fever. I can't believe I know what those words mean. We stray further from God's light. Yes.
What dark depths have we plumbed this evening?
Oh, right, her.
Nice dungeon crawling.
Sure. The fact that you've said it to like, the fact that spoilering it made it tiny was like, I can't tell what that is. It's funny because the Phoenix Wright character is actually pretty normal, and then the internet made her weird.
I mostly spoiled it because of what I called this emoji.
Oh, sure, yes.
And I didn't want someone to get a notification that just said that.
Sure, understandable. The decadence. Yes, we truly live in a decadent age. Anyway, so we have the bar area. The bar area is, I guess, it's called the Grotto.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. I guess the holographic dance floor is probably named Ice Palace. Snow White is being served here, marketed as liquid courage. The bar staff are all human, and they're wearing Disney-esque fairy tale outfits, princess dresses, open neck tunics, and bright green tights. They're all incredibly over this. Okay. What does the Snow White cocktail look like? I think is an important question.
I think it's like a green martini.
It's not even white. They just named it that for the theming.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that. It's just completely off-brand.
I don't even think the apples are green. I think they added green food coloring.
There's a white garnish of some kind. Oh, yeah, it's got the kind of like sugared rim that makes it look like there's a snow on the outside.
Or
Not
cursed
spells of
idea.
apples.
So it's traditional to have a shot of Jaeger with Red Bull. A shot of Snow White with milk.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was like getting at university introduced to the pre-university the concept of a hand grenade, it's sort of like a Jaeger bomb, but with a balanced shot of. It's one of the like not quite cannabis liqueur type things, where it's like you pull the pin to take one shot and it drops the Jaeger bomb into the drink.
Like a White Russian, the worst White Russian, yes.
I can't remember.
Is that what?
No. When in the you taking the shot with milk, I think is what Hawker Cux is responding to.
No, I know. Is that what a White Russian is? Like taking a shot with milk?
So White Russians are Kahlua, vodka, and milk. So milk is part of the ingredient.
They're
So cursed.
actually they're surprisingly refreshing. One of my friends got quite a thing for them during lockdown.
I've always preferred Black Russians myself. It's a race thing.
So, leave me my basic Caucasian.
Jokes only I'm allowed to tell, folks. But yeah, take it with a glass of milk. That's so gross.
Wait, did you actually write that down?
Yeah, no.
Love it. Oh, just add the little add slightly warm milk because it's in a club and it's going to be horrible. The smell behind the bar is going to be horrendous.
I didn't join this call intending to be a menace.
I can't promise that I will copy all of these details down into my notebook, but I'm enjoying that they are here. There's also the Green Russian, which is vodka, absinthe, and milk, and that sounds awful. That sounds like that fucking sucks.
That sounds like when one of your friends decides they're going to be drinking that all night, it ends in an arrest.
I like absinthe, but people are definitely doing the worst and doing the most. Sketch on SNL where Colin and Jost give each other jokes to say. Also, hi Bobicus, welcome to the stream. I don't know if you've checked us out before and this is the first time you're saying hello, but welcome. Is there an encounter in the... Well, encounters don't necessarily need to be fights. They're just the active threat that is in this space. I think you're press ganged into drinking one. This space is a 1 drink minimum. I don't know if there are any threats on top of that. I think just the suggestion that you're being forced into drinking this glass of room temperature milk with a shot of, like, psychotropics in it are... That's a threat in itself. Rewards. Are there rewards gained from this location?
I think you're after the pass to the VIP room is what you're after for this to progress. Either the back rooms or the VIP room. In fact,
I think the rewards is some good tasty calcium.
strong bones is your reward. Strong bones.
Also, sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, no, buddying up with somebody from Invite to the Back Room. Gotta do the 7 dwarves in the grotto. I mean, I have a feeling we're probably gonna get our 7 dwarves in the fucking Murdercore VIP dance room. Invite, not in insight, invite to the VIP rooms, or sneak off into the staff areas. Are there escalations here? Having more than one drink here is incredibly dangerous. Like, I'm thinking very much these edibles ain't shit territory. I don't know if either of you have ever gone through that experience before, but when they say take one and wait an hour, they fucking mean it.
I mean, I've watched my old flatmate have incredibly entertaining reactions to edibles.
Only one and relatively recently, but it was definitely a sit down in the pub and going, I need 7 bags of
I need
cheesy
food
crisps.
so badly. Yes. VIPs be playing Russian roulette with the drinks in the private rooms. Oh yeah, the Snow White is in full force up there. You go to the VIP rooms when you want to make your fairy tale dreams come true, and apparently that means like surprisingly escalated violence. It's sounding like. Speaking of,
Why does this place sound horny?
oh, I mean,
Not just me.
no, it's I think it's subtext or just increasingly. I mean, it's a bit tropey to kind of like, oh, you're going to the nightclub and then it turns into a murderfuck dungeon. The further in you go is kind of the general tone for a lot of these kind of things. But I'm kind of okay with that being an example dungeon in this kind of space because I think it sets the tone quite nicely. For there is no reason you would be here. The only reason you are here is because they are selling a very powerful drug somebody has asked you to retrieve.
Yeah. And also, if it's liquid confidence, someone's gonna be horny.
Murderfuck dungeon, I'm in! Hell yeah, sign me up, bro!
Why did I read that in Sonic's voice?
No food or movies, I'm out of here! Right, so the DJ I don't know the name of the VIP, so we have the VIP club room. And the DJ is playing Murdercore.
Yep.
Okay. Get me a Yandere villainess in the Murderfuck dungeon. I mean, you're gonna dance here forever. I'm gonna make sure of it, teehee.
Well, that's the DJ sorted then.
Okay, DJ Yandere is playing Murdercore incredibly loudly.
Okay, this has become increasingly related. I was running Monster of the Week for some of my friends, and one of my friends named his character Anya Dere, but I'd only seen that over text, and I didn't clock that it was just An Yandere.
Yeah,
just broken up. And I was just like, he told me after this game was over, and I was so annoyed. Extremely funny, but also why?
Yeah.
Why would you do this to me?
Can't type and talk at the same time, sorry. I like the idea that, you know, the music here gets worse than an earworm. It gets in your brain, and that is like the door to that is
in an apple.
Ah! It's all the way down, baby. I like the idea that specifically, if you have taken Snow White, it has neurologically, or if you've got cyberware, kind of like, you know, opened your defenses to kind of let the music take control, as Missy Elliott said, and with the wider effects on that. Harder to resist. Particularly, he takes control of cyberware. So an encounter, I suppose. If this is where we're adding the 7 dwarves, there are 7 punters on the dance floor. Shirtless, aggressively sweating.
I'm sending another meme to the Discord.
And Snow White puns, always has been. Yeah. Yeah. You know, they're all about, like, their killing intent is just radiating off these people. And you probably also having taken some Snow White to get here. This feels like a good time to just let out some physical aggression. I don't know if there is a reward here. Is there a reward? I mean, these folks probably have wallets, but I think this is... you probably escape with, like, you know, stress relief.
Is this the route that there's probably a way to actually get to the back routes? I feel like we need a way to the garden, maybe some sort of... There's some... stairway to heaven or great glass elevator that takes you up to the garden, so we probably need like a connecting room.
I think the ability to progress between nodes is implicit, and this is like you find cash or items and stuff, because otherwise, you know, it would be... It feels extraneous to kind of write, oh, and you find a staircase. Well, yes, but just to keep the text down for sure. But I do wonder if there is any kind of like monetary or item reward that is gleaned here, or is it just the violent equivalent of post-nut clarity that we're gaining after fighting 7 people in a room?
Is that the one horny joke of the...
that is the one horny joke of the stream for me. I don't know. I did very enthusiastically say murder fuck dungeon, which might not necessarily be a joke and just despairful, but no rewards. That is fine. I am happy for there to be... you go through the just ardent struggle of fighting 7 people and then go, I didn't actually need to do that. Why did we do that?
I like how this place really doesn't have a reward, it just sucks.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Because I like the idea of like there is actually a surprisingly elaborate like chain fight. You know, you fight 3 and then as you defeat 1, another enters the fray in their place. Oh, a VIP is a friend of the owner. Ooh. That's an interesting thing. Okay. I guess drunk enough. Although I suppose if you mildly prodded any of them, they would probably just fight you.
Yeah.
Going to be a menace again and add a joke reward to Poisoned Eden.
Okay. Yes. Ward, open brackets, joke, close brackets. You can leaf, indeed.
Oh my... Okay.
How did you not? You come into my house and say there is a joke reward and not even supply me with a pun. How dare you? You come into my house on the week of my birthday and offer me this. Speaking of the, I guess, office of the, I guess it's Oberon's office. I mean, an escalation is if you set off an alarm, Oberon, or at least bodyguards, show up. Enemies not normally having... I've always been appreciative of systems that really, like, put a fine point on the fact that if somebody has a firearm, that's actually a huge deal. Like, combats and stuff are always more interesting when normally the idea of being shot is not something you have to consider. Yeah.
It's like they always play a good part in horror games. I really like a soft spot for one, setting them in England or anywhere which has like quite
actual
strict
firearm laws.
You just
for sure.
won't see it. But also, if you're doing some sort of eldritch horror thing, if you do get your hands on a gun, you get a lot of false confidence, because when you do shoot something and it doesn't stop, it's very much a oh dear.
Yeah, for sure. When I was running Shadowrun Anarchy back in the day, it was a lot of it was all set in the UK, so it was very, very rare for a player or an NPC to have a firearm that actually dealt health damage. A lot of people had stun guns. It made me kind of disappointed in the most recent Watch Dogs Legion, with that being set in the UK, and I was like, there could be, and especially, you know, they want to do political commentary about there being PMCs around and them being people who run the space. I'm like, oh, so people having guns at all is a big deal now in this UK set. No, just everybody, you can just buy guns. They don't think about it at all. The London side of it is entirely just a set dressing, and it doesn't affect the politics of the game's narrative at all, which... I can only sigh at. Like, Watch Dogs 2, not a perfect game. Genuinely was out there to go and say some things and act on those things actually pretty well about the tech bro space. So you would figure they would retain those writers for the next one, but clearly they did not. Anyway, setting that aside. I guess we don't really have an encounter for Oberon's office. It feels like it's a space that's empty. Or at least of people. But it's like a lot of these things are probably alarmed.
I mean, I know we were saying about transitioning from room to room, implicit in the dungeon design, but part of me almost likes the idea of a key to the boss room or something.
I mean, you know, I think that would count as solving the encounter of the room. To the roof from here. Hidden / locked. I think this also probably counts as a rest room. So because there's no threats here, there's actually an incredibly... Well, okay, chat and you two. What pointlessly opulent bullshit is in Oberon's office?
A chandelier.
You'll need to also like rope in the virtual space a bit. So something like there shouldn't be room for like a ridiculous swimming pool or something like that.
I think there's also like a physical oil painting of Oberon, like in the style of Dionysus.
Big aquarium with little drones that project little mermaids. Okay, yeah. I like that, combining that with like the water feature. It's like an AR, partially an AR projected. Yeah.
Well,
Huge.
maybe mermaids, but also the eels from the Magician card.
There we go, tying it all together.
And I think just to tie the room together, a succulent. In like a beaten up pot.
Oh, Captain Hurricane's suggestion of the gold Newton's cradle that doesn't work. I love the idea of this person cannot take care of a plant, so it's a solid gold succulent. That is
so fun. That's so funny, given that they have an entire orchard on their roof.
Can't take care of plants for shit. They use the machines to take care of the plants up there. Those are all code. You don't need to water code, as far as he's aware. He doesn't know how the code works. Perfect. Love that. You can rest up here. Cool. Love that. Rewards. Please take a look at my solid gold succulent. Yeah, no, because I always like a thing about dungeons that I have always been kind of like wary of is a lot of them are kind of framed in a way where you have to do all of them. Like you have to do the entire dungeon or not at all. So I kind of wanted to make sure that I have the rule in text for the game that as long as there is a clear path of already cleared rooms between where you are and the entrance, you can always leave, but it counts as failing the mission. So if you got all the way here and you're just fucked up from fighting these 7 ravers in the murder core room and you're like, we can just steal that gold succulent and leave.
Yeah.
And then you do, and then you sell it for some money, and the person who assigned you the job is mad that you didn't do it, but at least you're all alive.
That's like your handler just being like, "Where are the drugs?" and you just hand them a gold succulent.
It's for you.
That'll do. That's all we need. Well played, guys.
Well, I wasn't able to go get the drugs, but I got you a new houseplant. And it just smash cuts to you being kicked outside this office.
I'm making another meme. Give me a second.
Okay.
What's that guy's name?
Let's see here. So we have quite a few locations already. Hell yeah. We have the rooftop garden. We have the dance floor. We have the bar area. We have the club room. We have Oberon's office. We only need one more location. We've done a full dungeon.
Ooh.
Let's look at our themes and what we've done so far. So, I don't think this is anything that either of you two would have been to before, but there are certain larger nightclubs, especially ones that are aimed towards particular queer men, where there are back rooms that are publicly accessible, where the lights are very low / off. And it feels that there is probably if you, especially if the liquid courage is just, making people trip pretty heavily, there probably needs to be a cool down room required. If you stay on the very, very loud, very aggressive dance floor while out of your gourd, you're probably going to do yourself or someone else a mischief. Started making it, had to break down Bon Appetit. Yeah. Exactly that meme. Yeah. The equivalent of the smoking balcony, and you can look up and see that there is something on the roof, but you can't really get to it from here.
If we're in a skyscraper and we're leaning into that AR aspect, maybe it's a room where you can just almost see to the roof of the skyscraper, but obviously it's fading into, it's almost an impossible look upwards. Like an infinity tunnel, if that makes sense.
If you tried to scale the wall to get up there, you would realize it's not possible. Right, yeah.
Well, that weird effect you get if you point a mirror at another mirror, where it does the reflects itself to infinity kind of thing.
I accidentally, there we go. No, that sounds good to me. I dig that. Whoops. A lot of information here. Okay. So this is the what are we calling this? We'll call it the cool down room for now, and if we have a more pithy name, we can return to it. So we have the cool down room. The lights are low. There are, open brackets, ill-advised. Large cushions. A lot of punters are splayed out on, and the watch me fail to spell this correctly. No, it's the other way around. Ceiling, because the way that you spell ciel, like sky, has the E and the I the other way around, and it always catches me up. Of the room is an infinitely reflecting mirror that shows a garden of neon trees. Oh, so far away. Yes. The garden in the CEI ling is an illusion. Climbing the walls won't be productive. But the guests are pretty bad, so you wouldn't be the first to try. Yes. Do we have any other details that we would like to go and add to this particular room? Is there I don't think there would be a fight in here, but is there some other kind of threat or barrier to progress that's going on in this space?
I think you might get dubious people wandering around here trying to take advantage of mooks who've shot themselves out on Snow White.
Oh, are they maybe they're trying to install like cracks into people. They're kind of like, hey, you know, you want a real high? You should try this wares, and it just, you know, opens a virus backdoor in people. Claims to quote-unquote pleasure enhance, but instead is a nasty virus backdoor. So like any other normal nightclub, honestly. Good. Is there a reward here? Probably not. I was kind of like, maybe you can, you know, if it feels like obtaining obtaining the virus software would probably be useful as long as you don't install it in yourself. On a memory stick. Don't install it. Nice. Okay, cool. Any escalations? Does any additional shit go down if too much of a ruckus is called, or if we linger here too long?
I don't think so. Like, I feel like this is like exactly the kind of place where like it's fine for you to loiter, because it is the kind of like
it is specifically
area.
a relaxation room. That makes sense. No escalations.
Yeah, this might be like a restroom, in a sort of mechanical sense.
You can rest here. Yeah, it's fine to have, because I think feasibly you could rest in Oberon's office, but probably tensions are a bit too high for you to want to try and do so. And obviously if you fuck things off and set off an alarm, you definitely can't rest here. Whereas in the cool down room, you can definitely get away with resting here. Okay, yeah, no, I like that. We have a dungeon. We have 6 locations. Nice. With a boss at the end. Heck yeah. Excellent work. Shall we? How long have we been going for? We've been going for 2.5 hours. Should we go take a 5-minute break? Because I think I need to stretch and refill my water. And then we can maybe do a couple more NPCs and call that a stream.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Don't go away. We'll be right back. But this is your opportunity also to go take a stretch, take a snack. And when we return, more NPCs. Be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a delightful break, a good stretch, a good rehydrate. I did realize it's like, oh, I've just been speaking for 2 hours without stopping. Shit, maybe I should go take 5 minutes to get some more water. But yeah, we've made really fucking good progress today. Considering, hey, Oz! Good evening. How you doing? Okay, I guess for those who are maybe joining us in the latter half, I should probably re-explain what it do. So there is a tabletop RPG fad going on at the moment called Dungeon 23. Just woke up. I hope you had a pleasant nap. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, there's a fad called Dungeon 23, where the idea is that you design a mega dungeon by designing a different dungeon room every day. And I'm like, that's really cool, except because of the way my brain works, trying to do a thing every day with no breaks, I find very, very difficult to keep up without somebody keeping me honest or whatever. But also, I don't do like fantasy dungeon stuff, so I don't have need for mega dungeons. But what I could use is designing lots of little encounter chains and small dungeons for the projects that I am currently doing. So I've teamed up with a good friend of mine, Tom, who you know from a variety of my previous streams. Say hello, Tom.
Hello, Tom.
Of course, fuck you. Get out of here. You're no longer my friend, leave. And we've also been joined by the illustrious friend and other tabletop RPG designer, Rook.
I'm here to cause chaos.
Indeed. And they've been helping me design not only some NPCs, but also we just put together a 6-room dungeon together. Shall we whistle stop tour through what we've made so far for those who are just catching up? We have 2 NPCs so far. We have Syncopation or Sync, who was a medical AI that worked in brain mapping and neuroscience. And they happened to do a brain scan of somebody whose job it is to handle metaphysical threats in dreamscapes. And as a result, encountered something that awoken them to sapience, and have now become a violinist with strings made of modifiable code that they play to hack things. On the other end of the tonal spectrum, we have Hexpress, a train conductor AI who naturally has a cool train conductor cap and a large schedule board that hovers behind them that is their text readout instead of them speaking. They are also a defense system for the train, for this particular train network. And they have a katana, and they are basically a fighting game character. They're so unnecessarily cool for the thing that they do. Right down to their special technique, rail katana technique, terminus blade.
The colon is emphasized.
We have just put together a 6-room cyberpunk dungeon. This is the end of the line for you. Yeah. Hold on. That needs to be added to the document. That's important.
I need you to know that I made just the colons italics.
Yeah.
Of course. I shall remember to make sure that the italics when I put it back in the book. For those who haven't seen it, I've started keeping a book for my Dungeon 23 bits and pieces. So we have a map of kind of like an arcology station. We have a dungeon that I've already started filling out called Metamorphosis Installation. Basically, it's where they go and do test runs on like gene splicing people. There are maybe some gene spliced persons within the facility if you wander in too far. We also have a page of NPCs that I'm starting to fill in, the drawings of which I have based on various miniatures. So if you recall, we built this miniature on camera. We built this miniature on camera as well, actually. But yeah, we're the stuff that we're writing down today, I'll be summarizing and then putting in this bad boy right here. But yeah, we've been putting together a nightclub that is selling literal liquid courage made from a digital plant that could be interacted with in the real world. We decided that the plants would look like apples, and so throughout the entire thing, Snow White pun kind of manifested right down to there being a combat encounter of 7 shirtless ravers in one of the VIP rooms, which delights me. It's a very grimy encounter dungeon, to be honest. Definitely not the shiniest location we have set. But we have enough time and energy in the stream today to do one more NPC. We had the pilot critter suggested by Captain Hurricane. I've got my NPC prompt, the Watcher in the Green. Thank you very much. Bear in mind, even though we're not necessarily getting through to all of these wonderful people who have subbed to the channel. If you sub to the channel during this week of birthday streams, I will make an NPC based on you and or a prompt that you give.
Ooh, could I have a prompt for one actually?
Oh yes, because you've also you gave out a bunch of subs. So yes.
I had an idea for an odd one where it's one of the door guards who is just completely bereft and immune to imagination. So he's literally just immune to the dreamscape and fiction. There's no concept of fiction.
The anti-Hamlet.
Perfect. I love that. All right. Yeah. Cool, sick. Love it. Make sure I've got all the bits and pieces. We're taking pilot critter from this list down here, and we're putting it up here. All right. So we have a pilot critter. Because it's a critter and not a person, this immediately suggests to me that this is an NPC that we find in either dream space or cyberspace. If we want something truly animalistic, it's probably going to be dream space, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm pretty open for. I mean, we could make this critter a hedgehog, but I quite like the idea of rolling some dice about it.
Yeah.
So let's go and get some story dice and see if any animals are depicted on some of these. I got this this dice bag that I sewed myself, engraved with the logo of Yorha on it, which I am very, very happy with. I don't think I showed that on camera. There we go. What dice? Okay. We got the Joker card again. So same die and same face. There's a lot of dice in there, and none of them are repeats. We have a DNA, and we have like a little. We have like a little emblem for like a space cadets. So I guess that gives a suggestion of it being like a spaceship captain then, with a little space emblem.
Maybe whatever it is in a little astronaut's outfit. Do you want the... Go for it.
I thought the space cadet thing was a leaf, which immediately made me think of like the raccoon power-up from Mario.
Oh, like a little tanuki leaf. Oh, sure. I like that. It could be a raccoon / tanuki, like space tanuki. Yeah. Has an astronaut theme. Is tanuki, and it being a tanuki with it being a fictional animal fits with it being a dream space entity. Yeah. I like that. Is a tanuki. Has a leaf motif. But we also have a Joker here. So maybe they're. I mean, that definitely fits in with it being a kind of trickster style character, because Tanukis as a yokai are specifically like tricksters. And what about that gene strand there? Relating to the dice bag, I only just saw this. What does Yorha stand for? Yoko's robot horror. I see. I see.
That's
I mean,
so powerful.
I know that we're gonna address this aside. Is that canon, by the way?
I don't know. It's what. It's the first thing it came up on the Google things, but I'm like,
Because I could
is
believe
that
that.
true?
I could believe
I
it.
absolutely could believe that of Yoko
That's
Taro.
really funny.
Because when I was playing the game and was kind of like, oh, these are, hey, Sunfish, hello. Not my birthday just yet. My birthday is on Monday the 16th, but we're doing a whole bunch of streams leading up to my birthday, with that being the last stream. But thank you for the well wishes. I hope you're doing well. We're still going to have our regular Thursday Pokemon stream as well, by the way, if you want to tune in for that. But yeah, when I was playing Nier Automata initially and was like, these are robots that are built specifically for military purposes, but they are also like really sexy, as they've had the male gaze laser burned into them, right? And I'm like, why? Like, did they think about the reason of that in the world, why that would happen? And then I thought about it for a bit, of just the general, like, Elon Musk, I'm gonna build ugly cars, send a car into space kind of energy. And I'm like, I could believe a tech bro with the resources available to do so would absolutely make its military, like, forces horny. Why, yes, I wanted to fuck the guns that I made. So to that end, I was like, oh yeah, Yoko Taro is doing a political commentary. But on reflection, I think Yoko Taro just wants to fuck the guns that he made.
It seems very in on brand for him, doesn't it?
He has said that there's a kanji for it. Near or passing leaf. This particular meaning may somewhat be related to how sakura blossoms are a symbol for samurai. Sure, Jan.
A while ago, and by a while ago I mean like when I was like 15, I was reading this like sci-fi book where one of the like side plots is like this kind of police officer person who like ends up falling in love with his like android companion.
Yes.
The androids in the setting are like proper like...
Oh, is this Autonomous by Annalee Newitz?
Yes.
Yeah, that book's great. That book's fucking excellent.
I just remember him having like a whole crisis because he realizes
I fell in love with a robot. Does this mean I'm gay now? Yes, it's so funny.
Yeah,
It rules.
Just like, dude, what are you talking about?
Autonomous, genuinely an excellent book, and I would consider it an example of modern cyberpunk. If you would consider Blade Runner to be a crystallization of what 80s cyberpunk looks like, and how a lot of that isn't really relevant socio-politically to now, Autonomous is an excellent example of what modern cyberpunk is. It's about people who are biohackers so they can give people medicine who can't afford it, and how that's super illegal and people are getting them hunted down and killed because they're trying to keep people alive. It's so good. It's so good.
Who's the author?
Annalee Newitz. I'm going to go and find like an entry for the book and then post the link into chat so people can see it.
Yeah.
I'm so shocked you got that with like 0.
It's genuinely because it's one of my it's genuinely one of my favorite books. I unfortunately don't read books very often. I find it quite difficult, so the fact that I devoured this book I think says a lot. Here's the Goodreads page, which I will both have on whatever. I will not log in via Facebook, thank you, but I don't want to link an Amazon page, you know what I mean? Yeah, you get it. Also, Yoko Taro is a dumbass, it's fine. I mean, I understand the hustle, you know, like, hot robots, let's go, I think is a perfectly reasonable thought process to have for someone's work. I have no complaints there. Anyway. Let's just return to this astronaut Tanuki. What other details do we
right.
need to build? No, I know. I sidetracked myself. Don't worry. What other details do we want to? Oh yeah, because we were looking at what is there anything about this kind of a DNA strand icon that is a factor here? I mean, my mind immediately goes to like, oh, it's like Star Fox, yeah, but it's not just. It so happens that this world is full of like talking animals. No. Part of how people went to, you know, modify themselves so they would be able to survive in space is a whole kind of like Island of Dr. Moreau splicing situation.
Ooh.
But maybe that is too grim for this funny little raccoon in a bubble helmet. I have a feeling that this is supposed to be a bit lighter than that. But I mean, we don't necessarily need to take the prompt of the DNA. We can throw that out and maybe think of a different prompt that we can use and work with. But we'll leave that there as a special tool to help us later if we do decide to go and return to that. Any preferences of any other prompt tools we want to pull up for this? Maybe what kind of environment is like what is space in Dream Space? Like, is it the kind of thing where the stars, like in Mario, are literal star shapes rather than burning balls of gas? Is that the kind of like area that this pilot critter resides in? What else? Maybe I'm gonna go. Let's go pull a card. Let's go pull a card to decide maybe what the I guess space fleet, what organization it's with, because I think that would be really informative. Shuffling some cards. Yes. And we have a. Oh, give me a number, Tom.
I'll go for 3.
Sure. 1, 2, 3 off the top, and we have threshold, or what would be temperance in regular kind of like tarot card parlance. So temperance is about balance and alchemy. It is being able to take the elements of current circumstances and be able to find a meld of them that is harmonious and useful for all partners. If drawn reversed, or the negative interpretation of it, is either making a bad batch, so taking useful ingredients and then making something wretched out of them, or not quite having the right tools to make the harmonious mix. I think it'd be very Gundam, right? To be like, you know, this is a little space astronaut that's trying to create space peace when that is of rare supply. But is it what Space Tanuki is fighting for wrong, or is it the elements that it has access to wrong? Like, there's some barrier from this Tanuki being able to establish peace across the galaxy. Fighting for peace, but there's a barrier. I've always been a fan of the kind of like, I think I'm fighting for justice, and then as the narrative moves along, it's like, oh, I'm fighting alongside some assholes, actually. Ideologically, this is not the one.
World building question.
Sure.
In Dream Space, if you're, which is, I'm assuming, a world of thoughts and ideas.
It is what you would call the collective unconscious. So it is the dreams and pop culture understandings that people have coalescing into physical entities. Nightmares can do that too, if that is especially if one particular person is having very powerful illusions of grandeur that can create some what would be dungeon spaces within the collective unconscious.
So, if Pilot Critter is fighting for peace and resides within the dreamscape, aren't they fundamentally trying to like change the dreamscape on some fundamental level?
So what they're doing is actually not... They think they're fighting for peace, but the barrier is what they're trying to do is actually forcibly change the dreams of other people, and it's having real-world ramifications.
Like,
Yeah, I like that.
like they are doing essentially the dreamscape version of like unethical biohacking.
Yes.
Bringing back the DNA.
Their actions within the CU to make peaceful changes is actually altering the collective conscious, like yes, against its will, and is having real world mutations, is causing real world mutations. I see. And I'll leave what mutations are as very ambiguous here. Because, yeah, it could be changing people into other things. But the idea of, like, one's understanding of a concept having mutated into something else, because the collective understanding of that has now changed, is actually a pretty big concept. Okay, cool.
Actually... really interesting, just as a kind of just a seed of an idea in and of itself, because there are like a lot of media that do kind of like, like the dreamscape is getting worse, therefore like, or like a spirit realm is getting worse, therefore these monsters are appearing. But this is kind of like the flip side of like, actually the spirit dream world is getting better. And that's also causing these monsters to appear. That's just like an interesting idea to play with.
Yeah, the collective unconscious has never been more peaceful, but that is causing big issues in the real world. Okay, that's cool. Now, does Pilot Chris's spaceship have a name? And is this kind of like, I'm currently picturing a proper kind of like pulp sci-fi, so bubble helmet, ray gun, rather than like the Star Fox kind of like sleeker R-wing, X-wing, Y-wing Star Wars thing, you know?
Yeah, a bit like Danger Will Robinson kind of levels of horror.
Should the spaceship be called the Hurricane or something similar?
Yeah, we can do that. Well, the peace doesn't stop the monster from breeding, and now they're an invasive species. Bubble helmet and ray gun. Ship is called the Hurricane. Love that. Yeah, no, I mean the idea of a peaceful, because I mean, in the, I'm going to preface the word that I'm going to say in the Metal Gear Solid sense. A lot of Metal Gear Solid games, or at the very least 2 and Revengeance, talk about memes as a rapidly spreading idea. which means one thing in the real world, but would probably be a huge fucking problem in the collective unconscious.
Yeah.
Oh, so kind of like memes like in The World Ends With You.
Yes. The idea of something that is an idea that rapidly spreads in the collective unconscious that is then hardline copying itself to the real world and changing things that way. Maybe that's what it's. Maybe that's what. That's this character's MO. They're releasing a meme out into the collective unconscious, and that's what's causing this problem.
Yep.
Okay. So I think we're here, and I think we're there in terms of the description of the NPC. What we need now is a name, and then the 3 positive traits and 1 negative trait. And then we're done. We have done it. We have made a lot of things. We've made a fuck ton of things today, actually. We made really good progress.
Highly creative.
Right. What I've been doing for the name What I've been doing for the name generation in my notebook has been using the dice for that. Let's pull another set of 3. Hey, love to be productive and creative. Let's go and we have balanced scales, a spider, and a lock. Which we don't need to use directly. You know, sounds likes and reminds me ofs. And we obviously don't need to use all 3, but I wonder if there is a... Let me get the dice tray so there's a bit more visual contrast on camera. Wow. There we go. Like, the scales make me now think of, like, constellations and stuff. And it feels like a very pulpy name for, you know... them to be called like Libra Star Trotter or something in that kind of space. Not Star Trotter. I think that's a pretty bad surname. But if we can think of a similar kind of actiony, pulp actiony surname,
or a title, something like The Stellar Rider, or. But yeah, I like the idea of a constellation taking the thorn in.
Libra, the cosmic. Gardener, not the right word. Oh yeah, the spliced meme looks like a sapling with like big cartoony leaves on it because. Got it. Good. There we go. We got there. But yeah, Cosmic Gardener. Is there a synonym for Gardener that we can work with here? Libra, the Cosmic Balancer. Definitely tracks.
Yeah, I like
coming
that.
in with the clutch
Yu-Gi-Oh
hurricane. Yes. No.
Trance the Magic Swordsman's cousin.
Okay. Hey, I'm taking that note. There's a lot of very cutesy Yu-Gi-Oh cards actually, so I could definitely pass this off as a. Okay, excellent. So, what kind of positives and negatives does this character have? We definitely, I mean, we've got to have something that kind of describes his pulp action hero, devil may care, daring do kind of attitude. A phrase around that for sure. One about how they're really good about growing these dream saplings that are a problem. And then a third thing. And then 3. I guess Hotshot Pilot is pretty straightforward.
maybe for the like the growing sapling thing, maybe like grow first, ask later. You know, like shoot first, ask questions later. Like a
Sorry,
thing like
I just had the sowing of wild oats speed.
that. Oh my god, that's good. Oh, actually, if you're keeping that, maybe plant first, ask questions later instead.
And then it's multi-layered. It's multi-layered.
So wild oats is very good.
Let's see. And a third characterful. I'm happy to lean towards something like a. Hold on, let me find the Sonic the Hedgehog JP box quote. Oh yeah, because it's very 90s pop. Like it's like very 90s, not quite accurate English. That probably would do very well here. So I'll wait for Captain to go find that info, because I think that would be very good for a third thing. Don't just sit there and waste your precious time. When you want to do something, do it right away. Do it when you can. It's the only way to live a life without regrets. I mean, live without regrets, I think, is a very good character tag. Although that is maybe covered by plant first, ask questions later.
Oh my god, there's more.
Also, Sonic CD. To live a life of power, you must have faith that what you believe is right, even if others tell you you're wrong. The first thing you must do to live a life of power is to find courage. You must be ready to reach beyond the boundaries of time itself. And to do that, all you need is the will to take that first step. I think reach beyond the boundaries is also a very good tag. I like that. Reach beyond the boundaries. So weird, but yes, yeah. Reach beyond the boundaries. Love that. Okay. And then a negative trait, which I guess is kind of like not really considering its own actions, a way of framing the kind of like almost selfishness of self-belief. Because this seems, rather than it being part of like a space core, seems very personally motivated. Without wreck, one could say. Reckless.
Hey.
Yeah. But I think the idea of highlighting that this is a selfish desire here, I don't think anybody's telling Libra that they specifically need to do this. This is like a self-imposed mission. Which, not one-man mission isn't quite that. Maybe? Is there a way of putting a spin on that to highlight the selfishness angle? Like, self-made mission? Is that a thing? Is that pithy enough? Self-made mission. We're almost there. I'm on the cusp of this. God, this is the bit I love defining characters by tags like this, but sometimes making it like witty is the bit that will fucking tear me apart every time.
Oh, okay. What about something along the lines of this harvest is only for me?
Okay.
It doesn't have to be that exactly, but something along those lines. Oh my god, that's great.
Yes.
There we go.
Very good. That's good. Okay. Only I have the balls. Sure. I think that works as a statement in itself, because then it's also kind of like in circumstances where other people would be like, I can help you with this, and they're like, only I have the balls to do this, and goes and does a reckless, foolish, selfish thing that makes the circumstances worse. Yeah. Good. Okay. Well, we designed 3 different NPCs from scratch and a 6-room dungeon in basically 3 hours, or a little over. I would call that a fucking successful stream.
Yeah, damn right.
God, thank you both. Thanks to both of you for joining me on this.
It's been fun.
Yeah. I'm glad. And thank you all those of y'all in the chat who have tuned in for the experience on a Tuesday night. Nothing exciting is necessarily happening. You know, usually Tuesday night is not big rave hours, but then I appreciate that means you've taken the time to be nice and cozy and hang with us. Shall we pass everybody over to Games Done Quick? They're playing Super Mario Galaxy 2 right now, which is a game I've not played. I guess from one space mascot animal to another. I will be back tomorrow. Not at 7:30. I have a meeting with my local hackerspace at 7:30. So it will be an early stream. It will be at 2:30. It'll be about 2 p.m. GMT, which is I think 9 a.m. Eastern, where I will be playing a variety of music and rhythm games, specifically or primarily Rhythm Doctor, which is a game I really enjoy and is probably like my only what I would consider a comfort game. And then maybe going into the Kickstarter demo of Bits and Bops, and we'll see where we go from there. Maybe I'll play a little bit of Rhythm Heaven Fever for the Wii. We'll see. There'll be a variety of rhythm games. They're all very good and the music will be fire. And then after that, Thursday will be our regular Pokemon stream. We're near the end of the game now, which is very exciting. And then I am going to be away for the weekend doing a variety of various things. And then on Monday evening, there will be... Oh, actually, I'll mention this to everybody now so they have the opportunity to maybe go and submit stuff if they want to, if they haven't already, rather. There will be my birthday stream, part of which is going to be a tier list of cool robots. Yes. I've seen these VTuber tier list streams and was like, I can do that too. I can be on trend and cool, he says, never being on trend or cool. So yeah, if you haven't already, go reply to that thread with a robot that you think is cool, and it will be added to the tier list. Yeah, that's everything. I have been your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades. Who have you been, Tom?
I've been Tom, and I am just about still awake.
And who have you been, Rook?
I have been Rook, Professional Menace.
There we go. Marvelous. And we're going to get that raid fucking cooking. The raid is cooking. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 2 p.m. UK time. Good evening. Farewell.
Evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.